Welcome to the ATYL live stream on a Wednesday night for the Roundtable. This is where we bring in members from the ATYL Media crew to talk all different types of motorsports, Formula One, because there's no shortage of Formula One news today, right, John?
Nothing at all. Nothing's happening.
Nothing at all. Formula One, NASCAR, IndyCar, Cars Tour, all this different stuff. And we're so excited to have you all in the audience joining us to chat all about it. Of course, joining me today, John DeRudris, Buddy Pooley, and Don Joseph. Gentlemen, how we doing? And happy. I should say happy, too. I can't leave
I was just going to say, how can you forget the superstar?
He is here. He is
just
here.
Just vibing right there. He's going to fall asleep, dude.
He wanted to be held, and we decided to go live. So this is where we're at.
You know what? We love it. Happy is part of our crew. So
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Buddy, I'll start with you then, since
that's me. I'm Buddy.
You have with the spotlight right now. SVG wins. I'm sure you were pumped about that. Excited?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Taylor told me I could not wear my SVG stuff.
Whoa!
Because
Wow.
She said it was unprofessional. You said it in the group chat. Well, I mean, you didn't exactly say that, but you basically said that with your Sonoma picks. Hater. So anyway,
pick SVG for Sonoma?
Huh?
No,
she didn't pick SVG for Sonoma.
She didn't. She picked Connor Zilic and Chris Buescher, and I took that personally. Anyway,
that's offensive.
Yeah, SVG won. Very kind of him to win both races this past weekend. You know, the one year I don't go to Chicago and wins both races, but it's okay. I've seen him win twice there. Exciting weekend for everybody that is from New Zealand and down under. Maybe not for Americans other than like me and like Adam, but you know, hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. Get ready for round 2.
Yeah. So I guess now that we're on the topic, like, John, do you feel like SVG is going to win Sonoma? Like, case closed?
No, he's not going to win in Sonoma. Sorry, buddy. I have another driver that I'm going to take. I haven't. Sorry, I know, buddy. I just completely ruined your.
Did you watch Sonoma last year?
I did. He's going to be in my picks, but he's not going to win the race. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair, buddy? Okay,
fine.
I'll
allow it.
Okay, good. I think he'll finish in the top 5, but I think the guy who came in third is going to win at Sonoma, Mr. Tyler Reddick.
Oh, there we go.
Tyler
okay.
Reddick.
That's
I think
fine.
so. There's some trends that I haven't spoken about yet in my picks, and I've seen this trend happen the last 3 years. Everything's pointing to Tyler Reddick for me. So.
Oh, okay. Speaking of trends, Dom, Mr.
Like
trends yourself. I was gonna say, you
Jolly
like trends?
Green Giant.
Do you feel like, yeah? Yeah, we have to address the green drip today. Interstate batteries, sun drop.
Yeah, I mean, you can't enjoy a sun drop without interstate batteries.
That's
apparently.
right. Yeah,
this is true.
Very acidic. Both,
they go
both
hand in
things.
hand.
Very
acidic. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Someone was drinking a sun drop and said, "I've got an idea." No. Anyways, I think, you know, SVG winning Sonoma makes perfect sense just because this is exactly what he did last year in the Xfinity Series. He got the one road course win and then became untouchable. So I can 100% see it. And I mean, I really don't remember the Xfinity Sonoma race last year that well. I can't remember if it was just like an outright domination or if it was just close the show at the end. But I mean, good grief. How good was he in Chicago? And, you know, I mentioned this to Sal in his live show on Tuesday. You know, there's 6 total races have been run on the Chicago street course with Cup and Xfinity, and 4 of them were won by SVG. That's just insanity. So
he won 4 out of 5 he entered.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So like, dude can't be beat. And that's just that V8 supercar experience on street courses, just turning him into just superhero material on those racetracks. So I like his opportunity in Sonoma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, we do have maybe AJ Allmendinger would win. AJ Allmendinger had a good race rolling at Chicago, finish inside the top 10 too. I mean, he's always going to be a factor at the road courses. So, I mean, I definitely focus on him too. The one comment I did want to point out though. I know we're kind of previewing a little early here, but like that's fine. There's a clear advantage for Shane at street courses versus road courses, and the advantage kind of slims here, you know, when we go back to road courses where all these other drivers have had more laps around, right? So something to keep a lookout for this weekend as well, something to keep in mind. Will it matter at the end of the day? We don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, something else too that was really interesting to think about regarding that. Now, the one thing that was interesting to me this weekend was the caution calls. I know this has been talked about beyond belief for the most part, but we had some new comments today from Brad Moran over at NASCAR, kind of about the decision making, what they're doing going forward. But before I get into that, John, did you have an issue with the cautions this week? Like, what were your thoughts on it? Because I know there's varying issues that we could have with this, but I want to know specifically from you.
Yeah.
What was
so here? I understand you want cars to go back in the right direction. I get it. Mm-hmm. But 2 minutes and 9 seconds. I mean, come on. Like I get it. Josh Berry's from Tennessee. He's a Tennessee boy. I want to see him get back. But it just wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I think that the biggest thing for me was, one, the delay, but also how long it took to throw the caution for Cody Ware. And I went back and looked at the time. I looked at the hit. Like, yes. I'm actually going to put a video out with a literal G-force calculation of how many Gs he felt, because I haven't seen that populate anywhere. So I'm going to make that. I mean, we're talking like probably 20 to 30 Gs. Maybe even pushing 35, which would surpass Denny Hamlin's wreck at Richmond of 32. So I get it. You want cars to go back in the right direction, but Josh Berry's is the big one, as well as SVG's, or not SVG, Cody Ware's, and you just got to throw the caution. Now, the one for the ambulance getting across the track to service the fan, that obviously needs to happen. But what's the logistical battle there? Is because the roads are shut down? Is there just not a path? Like, I really don't know. Maybe y'all know what their logistics were on that. No clue. But like, I want to service the fan and make sure the fan's okay. But those other two, goodness gracious, guys. And they came out and said, I think it was that they did not have the footage of Cody Ware hitting the wall. They didn't have the impact footage. They had the wreck, like him under the barrier, but they didn't have the impact, which if they had that, they would have thrown the caution sooner. I'm going to choose my words wisely there. And I'm like, you got to throw it. Doesn't matter if you see the impact or not. Dude's packed under a barrier and says need help. Come on, guys. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. And going off that point too, to read, I'll throw the comment into here now because you kind of touched on it. Brad Moran said we'll be reviewing all of this and getting all of our information put together like we always do on Tuesday. This was in an interview he did with Sirius XM today. He said, unfortunately, we didn't have the actual footage of the impact of the car getting into the tire barrier. That is something we're going to take back. We're going to look at it if we go back to Chicago, and we'll be looking at certain areas of the racetrack and definitely improving that situation. Because the other thing too was just not just the visibility for this as well, but overall on the track with the incident, even on lap 4, like the spotters could barely see or make out or tell their driver in time, hey, FYI, this is happening. Because I don't know if you guys saw Atlantis King's post, but she kind of did like a bird's eye view of what the spotters were seeing. There was a tree like blocking that view, that sight line for the spotters. So if we go back, which is another topic in itself, there's definitely a lot that needs to be improved when it comes to caution calls, visibility, etc. But looking at that, seeing that impact, it should have been immediate. Dom, I don't know if, obviously in hindsight, it should have been an immediate caution, but I'm curious from your perspective too, do you at least appreciate that NASCAR was consistent across the board in giving every driver ample time to kind of figure it out on their own?
Yeah, I think for a street course, road course kind of deal where, you've got so much more racetrack to get around, where it's not like an oval where it's like, okay, you've had your wreck, you have 30 seconds to get off the racing line. Like you've got double that, if not more. I don't know. I get it. They're just trying to keep the race moving because caution laps are so much longer on the street courses. But yeah, it's just hard to say. I'm not the right person to comment, honestly, because it's just so different for all all different sports. Because I mean, you have local yellows in IndyCar, F1, and IMSA, but they're all policed differently in terms of how quickly they throw a caution or safety car, whatever. So it's hard to say, and we're also 3 years into being a street course sport now. So I guess we're still trying to figure it out as we go. And this was also our first Cup weekend without rain at Chicago. So this was one of those where like, hey, we can let's pump these laps in because we've got good competition right now for the first time where it's clean racetrack. There's no outside elements. Let them race. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. Knowing that, and plus with rain on the way, with having that threat too, it's like, hey, let's get all of this in as quick as we can, so we have none of that nightmare raindrops and storms to have to deal with.
Right. And to add to that comment too about weather, Brad Moran did speak to that too today on SiriusXM and said that the weather was not a factor in how quickly or not quickly they pulled that last caution and the timing of when they pulled it. So to have him specify that too there, at least adds a little nugget of wisdom when we're talking about this all too. I guess overall, Buddy, I guess we'll start talking about, do you want to see Chicago back on the schedule? And if we do, what are things that you hope stay the same? What are things you want to see improved? I'm going to throw you the big question here.
Yeah. One, I want to ask Dom if NASCAR sent you that statement. Like, and like, what else did they say in the email? Like, no, to kind of wrap that up, I do want to comment on that. I honestly kind of agree with Dom though. It's like, I can see where NASCAR is coming from. I call BS on whether or not the weather was a factor. Weather was absolutely a factor in it. You could see the clouds. They didn't want to get rained on. Whatever. Ambulance, that shouldn't have been a caution that counted toward. Tyler Reddick should not have been able to make a strategy call off that caution. Absolutely not. That is BS, because he's going to get out of the car and be like, yeah, I won the race. That caution really helped me out. I'm sure, Joe Schmo that, drank too many Busch Lights and is passed out in the ambulance. I'm sure hope he's doing fine, but yeah, great call by my guys. Anyway, should we return to Chicago? Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody, drivers like it. Chicago's finally coming around to it. Like, yes, absolutely. For the simple fact that they've been, I about said the S word on, but they've been rained on. We'll say that for the past 2 years. And we finally get a clean race. It was a great race. I don't care what anybody says. Fantastic race. I'm biased, 100% biased. I like SVG. We all know this. I was at the first Chicago race. It was a grand event. But I thought it was a great race overall. I think it's been a great race overall. I think it's been one of the top 3 best races on the schedule ever since it's been on the schedule. And we're going to take it away? Come on. This is not going to be popular, but I'm going to say it. Ty Gibbs. All right. He said this past weekend, he was in a media availability. He said, I'd rather have 2 street courses over 2 Atlantas. Bro is not wrong, in my humble opinion. Now, I'd rather take away another road course and keep 2 street courses because it's proven that it's better with this car too. That's another thing that no one's pointing out. This street race has been way better than any of the road courses, the natural terrain road courses. So I'd rather get rid of another road course and add another street course. But if they don't, at least put Chicago back in a rotation with other street courses and do like you do the championship race. Maybe that builds hype too. But I think we finally are getting Chicago to come around to embracing the street race. And maybe now it's not the time to take it away yet.
I mean, local leadership is looking to extend the contract or create a new one or whatever it is by 2 years, having a 2-year extension there. So they're definitely invested in getting it back somehow. I also think Ty Gibbs really wants 2 more street courses on the schedule, considering his success at Chicago, finishing in the top 5 the past 2 years, whatever it is. Like, he's good at these tracks. So I can understand why. But yeah, very interesting. I'm going to look at the comments real quick to see what you guys have said here. John, good to see you in the chat. John Jensen. While I don't mind NASCAR doing a street course, I'd rather have it somewhere else. As for the Chicago market, go back to Chicagoland. That's the other piece of this too, where it's, are we just going to do the Chicagoland thing again and whatever? Denny Hamlin, I believe it was Denny who was like, we could do Chicagoland and the street course, right? Serving that market both at an oval and a street course if we want. Obviously, the rumor right now is that San Diego is going to be happening. Again, it's a rumor, not confirmed right now, for 2026. So, I mean, there's that too. But I'm curious, since we have that topic of conversation, some people have asked it in the comments kind of at a high level, but if we could have a street course anywhere in the United States, you know, where would you guys like to see it? It doesn't even have to be reasonable. It could just be like you just like the market that it's in.
I think Raleigh, North Carolina would be great. And I'll stay my happy ass home.
Around the Hall of Fame? Around the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Not in Raleigh.
Well, I'm saying you could do it in North Carolina. I've been multiple times, buddy.
Our 50 millionth race in North Carolina in one season.
Exactly.
Well, that's what everybody wants. They want us to all drive to race in 7 different North Carolina cities.
Oh man,
it's a hot button topic.
The whole thing would be really cool.
I'm mad.
It would. So I think looking at like Long Beach or looking at Detroit or looking at somewhere that IndyCar goes, I would love to see. I mean, that kind of tight circuits there, but I mean, I don't know. It's tough because how wide will the track be? Because we've already had complaints that Chicago's too narrow, and streets are going to be narrow, and so it's just like. I think we have to kind of see what it looks like. I mean, I would love to see like a doubleheader IndyCar NASCAR weekend somewhere. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, maybe San Diego is the answer. Who knows? I don't know.
Take them to Monaco.
Yeah, I do agree with the thought process. Yeah. You know what? Let's do it. City of Monaco destroyed because NASCAR comes to town. My goodness.
God. Yeah.
I think the one point here too is like somebody made the comment of like, we want 2 street courses because one just feels odd. It feels like kind of the oddball.
Shout out to Cook,
right?
So, yeah, it's a friend of mine.
You were like, wait, but yeah, no, it's a good point to make too. Dom, I don't know if you have any thoughts about where you'd want to see a street course.
I don't know.
Or do you like the San Diego idea?
The San Diego idea makes perfect sense because NASCAR is hell bent on tapping into the Southern California market. So it's like, okay, I get it. This gets us there. And I don't know what in the world's going on in Fontana. I wish we had that track still, but it just looks like that's no longer going to be entertained. But San Diego makes sense, and I think it would be really cool. But I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm kind of leaning towards Buddy here. Like, I don't know. Chicago was a good race this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was
saying.
It was
great.
I hate
it was
to
awesome.
say it, but Chicago wasn't bad. Like, I left that race going, I've got nothing for this. No complaints.
Exactly.
Good race.
The only complaints I had were with the officiating.
Well, yeah. I think
and that's not a Chicago thing. That's NASCAR.
What really helped the race too is the strategy SVG was on, where he kept getting sent backwards, and just put on a masterclass going around the best stock car drivers in the country, showing them just how much better he is at this craft than they are in street course racing. So I think that's what made it a lot of fun, especially the Xfinity race where Zilich and SVG were both doing that.
Oh my God, that was so fun.
So yeah, I like it. I would love to see them try Chicagoland at least once, just because of how good the car is on 1.5 miles. And with the show Kansas has put on recently, I think Chicagoland could do a little bit of the same, but we are once again getting to that position of we're adding more races, and I don't know what we would subtract. And I can just see us making the schedule bigger, which just makes, I don't know. I already think 36 is a little too much.
Yeah. I want to, one thing I've seen on social though about the Chicago street race, and I've seen a couple people talk about this, is that they're just tired of hearing about the 9 or the 88. And
get over it.
I mean, I agree. It's to the point where, like, you got to respect talent. And what SVG, Dom, like you said, just going through the field multiple times, and what the 9 and the 88 did, or what SVG and Connor did in the Xfinity series, was phenomenal to watch. Yeah. And I think it's, you might be tired of hearing them, but SVG obviously is going to be in the conversation no matter where we go, if it's a road course or a street course. Like, he's going to be there. Same thing with Zilich. I mean, that's why, Taylor, you picked him this weekend. So for those fans that are like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about him, well,
tell your driver to go faster.
There you go. There you go, buddy.
No one tell you.
Yes. Honestly,
and
yes.
I think that's what made in the 2010s. That's what made the Watkins Glen races so much fun, because it was Marcos Ambrose being just that much better than everyone else. Where you would get competition from Keselowski, from Kyle Busch, and you're just seeing this guy who we don't really talk about weekly, fending them off like he is equal to them, if not better. And that Cinderella story makes it even more entertaining to watch.
This is racing. Yeah. We watch this to see these drivers do, ordinary men do extraordinary things, or women. And he's doing something extraordinary. Damn it, appreciate it. Jimmy Johnson won 5 straight championships. We didn't. I don't know anyone that wasn't wearing a 48 shirt that appreciated that. And now we look back like, damn, wow. Here we go. There's just something extraordinary happening before your eyes. Again, totally biased. Don't take anything I say personally, because it's definitely biased. But also,
appreciate it. Which I agree with. Gotta appreciate it. Gotta respect it. I think the one other thing to touch on before we move on, and we'll dive into more NASCAR news a little later, but TNT coverage, I will have to say this weekend was a little tough. Now, I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt here, though. It was a street course. It was a road course. That is tough for a newer broadcast partner. I say newer because, we've been with TNT before, but to kind of undertake. But I will say it was a bit disappointing, and Dale Jr. actually talked about it on his podcast today. I'm trying to find the quote. He goes, quote, we as a team are aware some of the things we could have done differently in some moments, some things we wish we would have went better. And there is a massive want to, there is nothing but all hands on deck. Basically, there's so much they want to do is what I think he was trying to say here, but they can't do it with the team that they have. Everybody is ready to go to Sonoma and work even harder. But the network is very, very aware that there is a lot of discussions going on, discourse with the fans, just saying, hey, this isn't living up to it. But again, as we mentioned, I think in last show, the last roundtable we did, we've been spoiled by Prime. We've been spoiled by strictly streaming shows. It's what we know, it's what we've seen. And then you go back to something that's just network television, and it's oh. So they're balancing it, right?
I think we got so lucky with how amazing Prime's coverage was, and it pushed it all the way up to the Speed Channel level of how good it was.
Yeah.
And then TNT is coming in, making their debut with a whole different production crew. Hey, we're just trying to get our feet wet here, just trying to figure this out 1 week at a time. And we're also on a TV schedule. We're not streaming. So we've got a window to get this race in. It's not, we can go as long as we want. And I feel bad for TNT, because unfortunately Prime hit 5 straight home runs.
Dom, you want to just put the email up on the screen and we can read it?
Come on, dude.
I will have to say, I'm glad that there aren't any animated drivers and they're using actual driver headshots.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Looks good.
Yes.
Also, I like the tower. I like the scoring pylon. I think it looks clean.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So
graphics are good.
Yeah, graphics are good. And so it's hard to follow up what Prime did. It is. It's really tough. It's tough.
Yeah. And something that Dale mentioned too in this as well is that there is nobody from Fox that kind of has a hand in this. The staff is all TNT. No mention of either NASCAR Productions nor NBC in the conversation. I don't think he needed to bring it up at that point, but I know the discourse has been around. It feels like a Fox broadcast, and that's kind of why he brought that up there. But kind of talking about the personnel behind what's happening. But yeah, I mean, Dom brings up the point. Prime hit 5 home straight runs. It is going to be hard to follow that with whatever is followed up by that. So, in like Clint says here, no, they spoil us for 5 races, 5 weeks. Say this from Fox.
Hey,
I
Clint.
will say that, yes. And TNT overall has done well. Like, I'll give them that. Like, they've done well, but obviously it's different, right?
Prime set a new standard.
So they set a new standard. They did. And when nothing else lives up to that new standard of what we know we could be getting, it's going to hurt. And sorry, guys, but we're locked into a TV deal that's going to make it this way for the next many years. So we're going to have to live with it. But there's always room to improve, or maybe there's room to just settle. We've seen settling. We've seen what that looks like with our broadcast. Anywho, any last minute comments on Chicago before we go into IndyCar?
Look, I'll close it out with this. All right. So I saw a tweet today and someone was like, look at the 1992 schedule. Look at how perfect this was. This no playoffs, whatever. This is peak NASCAR. Okay. All right. So if you go back and look at the 1992 schedule, look, greatest season in NASCAR history, no doubt. That would have actually the playoffs would have worked way better in that format, because you would have had less winners to complain about getting in just because they won a random race, because they're all more legit tracks. This schedule we have now is actually better if you want a more legitimate points format. So because, these new winners, these different winners can win, and we don't have to deal with the discourse of, man, I hate that SVG's 29th in points and now he's in the playoffs. That's terrible. We wouldn't have that. So, look, man, if you don't want the sport to grow, just say that. If you want to gatekeep. Like that's fine. But we're gonna keep on trucking.
Can you send me one of your political signs so I can put it out in my yard?
Yeah, I got you. I this is another story for a different day. But I did sign up to run for office at one point. I did not actually run, but I did. Yeah, I'll tell y'all later. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is what's the show we're workshopping? Like an after hours show.
This is very much ATYL After Dark.
After dark.
Yeah.
After dark. Yeah. My goodness. It is cool though. Like, I mean, cool, whatever. But like in this format, you are right. Like with all the tracks we have now with the Gen 7 car, it's created, more evenness amongst the teams and stuff. So, I mean, if you want to have a full season's playoff format, I mean, this would kind of be the time to do it. You'll see content on my page like today or tomorrow. I don't know when. Sorry, editing takes forever. But I got a tour of Joe Gibbs Racing today. And during that tour, they had talked about how like the production of their Gen 7 cars and what they used to have, what they don't. What I thought was really cool about it is a lot of the teams, when the Gen 7 kind of hit NASCAR, they let a ton of people go because, you don't have that many people that you need for fabrication and stuff like that. They're not needed. But what Joe Gibbs was able to do was they took those employees and they molded them into another role where they're able to work with other businesses and stuff like that. That was really cool. I'll talk about it in the video. But the thing with this is he was very particular on talking about today in the tour about how it's like, Joe Gibbs Racing, we're still one of the top teams, but now Legacy Motor Club, they're getting closer to a win potentially in like the next year or whatever. Like they could be a factor for race wins. RFK Racing, now they're a contender for race wins. Trackhouse, it's like, it's not that simple anymore. And with that said, too, goes back to your point, buddy, of like the points format with this car, with this schedule, because of how wild it is. It could work.
There's no bad cars in the field. There's
no bad cars. Well, there's a few.
I mean,
but very few.
There's nobody that you're going to lap 5 times every week anymore. It is everyone has the capability of running on the lead lap every week. By the way, John, I saw that flex. Someone said nice shirt, John, in the chat, and he just casually was just like,
yes.
Dude, you got the Cinnadust shirt is legendary,
here, John,
brother.
Hold on a second.
There we go.
We're doing this. Hold on.
There we go.
Okay.
Flex
the shirt.
Yeah. Gold. The Cinnadust, bro.
Yeah.
This thing is legendary. I haven't taken it off in 4 days, so I have. I promise. I
probably should. Yeah.
I have. Trust me.
That shirt used to be white.
It used to be white. No,
I did.
Actually, let me tell you guys, this thing, it's good quality too. Like I was kind of surprised
That's
at
good. Yeah.
the quality of it. So yeah, it's legendary. Now I gotta know. I've bought the shirt. Should I buy the diecast?
What?
Yes.
What?
Sorry, I was too quick to answer.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just getting a poll.
Come on.
Yeah. No. See, John is just looking for a justifiable means to actually spend more money. He was already thinking about it. He needed the
Look,
points.
never
This is
mind.
what it
I'm not
is.
gonna say what I was gonna say.
Is that after dark? You could say it now.
You've already
Yeah, go for
wasted
it.
your money on whatever's sitting on that shelf behind you, but
Oh.
Championships, buddy. Look behind you. Who has more?
I'm not talking about Jeff Gordon.
What are you talking about? You talking to which one?
I'm talking about who's got the fourth stack right there.
This guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's got more championship? Anyway, let's continue.
Who's an old man?
I've got this nice car on display right now that not a lot of people know about. It's actually a car that never.
Didn't he finish
saw the
like
race.
last in that race?
He
Or no, he
didn't qualify
DNQ'd.
in this
Oh,
car.
okay.
He didn't
All
even
right,
make
cool.
the show in this car.
RFK does have decent merch. Look, this is a point.
See, the only
We need to get these teams on shipping internationally. We got an international race now. We got international flavor in our drivers. We need no excuse for Trackhouse not to.
Oh, for sure. SVG, you got to send that stuff overseas.
1,000%.
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez, exists, but no,
Not after next season.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one, too.
Yikes!
My goodness. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. There's a really good comment and question here that I'm going to get to later in the show. So if you have a question, comment for us, stick around because we'll talk about them in a little later. But I want to shift quickly over to talking about IndyCar because Alex Palou is human. He doesn't win every race and he can make mistakes. And this is not me putting down Alex Palou at all. He is an incredible talent. One of the best in the world right now when it comes to racing. But Scott Dixon was able to capitalize on this and win the race at Mid-Ohio. Third different winner of the season, which is crazy to say. But Scott Dixon, we know how good he is at Mid-Ohio. Great to see him back in victory lane. Just overall a great win. I don't know, Dom, did you watch the race?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was huge because it got to the point where it was looking like it was going to be a battle between Pato and Palou featuring Scott Dixon.
Like last year?
And then
yes,
when the fuel cycle turned into what it did, it was very clearly, all right, it's going to be a Ganassi car today unless something changes. And yeah, saw Palou going slow and Dixon went by him. I thought he ran out of fuel. I thought, or something broke on the car. I didn't know that he just, mental error, driver mistake, just overcooked it into a turn, misjudged the brake zone and slid the tires and went off the track a little bit. And just something that we haven't seen the surgeon, Alex Palou, do at all this year, really. So just crazy to see him make a mistake like that, a rather simple mistake. And then for Dixon to get the win, 21 consecutive years with at least one win in IndyCar.
Damn impressive.
That's wild for the 6-time champion. Just something, and again, kind of like the buddies points, like we're not going to appreciate Dixon until he's long gone, which is sad. But yeah, huge win for that team. Cool to see. I mean, obviously, like I think the championship is well and truly sewn up already for Palou, but that's just great for the PNC Bank side of that shop, because just seeing the 10-car win every single week probably got really annoying. But good for that team for sure.
Yeah, and this is the point of the schedule now where IndyCar is cooking. They have back-to-back weekends of racing, going to Iowa this weekend for their doubleheader. There's some thoughts around the Iowa race. In case you haven't seen it yet, there's a new episode of 4 Laps out by Andrea talking about everything coming up with this race weekend. Her and MJ will actually be feet on the ground, ready to cover the race from the track. Very excited for all the coverage that they're going to bring to us here at ATYL Media. But Andrea did a great job breaking down this upcoming race weekend, the chances of certain drivers, and just the complexity and I guess the lack of enthusiasm, I think, around Iowa now in IndyCar, which is kind of disappointing, but also NASCAR kind of ruined the track with the really weird repave, and the product just has not been the same since last year. Anywho, that said, lots of good stuff coming up for IndyCar, so make sure to check out 4 Laps. Comes out every Thursday at 10 a.m. on the ATYL Media channel, and we're going to start having some episodes on Tuesdays as well in the afternoon, so stay tuned for that. But John, you've had a busy day, right?
Oh yeah, it's been a great start to the summer break. We had a great Silverstone GP. We have some people on vacation already, like Christian Horner, so it's always a good, it's always.
That was smooth. That was nice.
Yeah, you like that? I've been trying to figure out how am I going to say that.
Good. I would have screwed that up. That was good.
But yeah, he's on a very long vacation. But the thought is, if you don't know, Christian Horner got nicked from Red Bull, and so did their director of marketing, and I think it was the group director of communications as well. And the question is, though, could we see him back with another team? Because there's rumors that he could be going somewhere else. Now, I don't know if those rumors are true. I don't know if this means that Max Verstappen's seat is safe. I don't know what this means. But I think this shows you that nothing's permanent. We saw that with Lewis Hamilton. We've seen that with Adrian Newey. We've seen that across the board in Formula One forever. But yeah, Red Bull is, oh boy, they're going to be on a rebuilding season. I think it's going to be interesting to see where that team goes. And I wish Adam was here to get his thoughts on this whole situation. But I wasn't expecting it. I woke up this morning. I didn't even have a cup of coffee, and the first thing I see is Christian Horner's gone, and I'm like, what universe are we in? Like, what have we gotten to? So yeah, it was wild. It was wild this morning.
For reference, my dad, I have to shout him out on this because 2021 really cemented himself as a anti-Red Bull fan. He can't stand Horner, can't stand Verstappen. And so I get that. I wake up this morning, I get that notification. So I call him right away. I said, did you wish upon a star last night?
what kind of devil worship did you put on to make Christian Horner go? Yeah, well, I think the thing is I've heard that it was because he wouldn't give up the roles. He had too many, in my video I talked about how as a Cowboys fan, I understand how owners can have too much control in an organization, as Jerry Jones does. And so I was like, could this be the same situation where Christian Horner just had too much control and he wasn't ready to give it up? And that's what I've heard. And then they were like, see ya. Goodbye.
I think Haas should hire him. I mean, they've had enough PR nightmares. What's another one?
Or Cadillac.
Why not?
Cadillac.
What's another one?
Or reunite Horner and Sergio Perez at Cadillac 2026.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they love each other.
Oh, they're best buds. They're best buds.
I know a little F1.
Do you think this
I know a little bit about
that
F1.
Huge get for Cadillac.
Nose goes?
No. Give me a good chance.
I don't even know what was said. I heard Taylor say that. I just hit my nose. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Boss said hit your nose, so I hit the nose.
I don't conform. I'm ungovernable.
Oh my God.
Oh goodness. I think there's a comment, Taylor, from Andrea.
Hello, Andrea.
Andrea, good to see you. This is a good point too. Andrea, Apex Andrea, also like I said, check out 4 Laps with Andrea and MJ. She goes, I heard some stuff about a service clause in his contract by the half point of the season, which is conveniently Silverstone. He didn't meet. John, any thoughts around that?
Possibly. I don't know what the contract states. I mean, we've had the same discussion with the exit clause with Max Verstappen. If he's entered that exit clause, could he be gone as well? So, I think maybe it could be the case. I think the question is, though, is Max possibly still going to Mercedes? Because that's the big thing. And
that's my question.
If Max goes to Mercedes, who's going? Because if I'm Toto, if I'm them, I would not want to get rid. It's going to be surprising. I would not want to get rid of Kimi Antonelli. I think
agree.
if you have Max Verstappen as number 1, Kimi can learn from Max Verstappen. Oh boy, because Kimi's got talent. Kimi's the best rookie on the grid. He's, I think, better than. I'm gonna be careful what I say there. He's better than I think a lot of cars on the grid right now. And if you have George and Max on a team, you have 2 number 1s. It's I don't know if it's going to work. So I think
they already don't like each other.
Exactly. Like that's just not like.
Right.
Do you really want to create a like Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly situation with Haas? I mean, like it's just I think that's who I'm. I think it's the right reference.
I
Yeah.
mean, Nico and Lewis did not like each other, and they destroyed their competition for 3 straight years.
That is true.
Their hatred of each other.
That is true.
So Toto could be onto something there.
The only reason I know anything about what you guys are talking about is because I listened to the Four Laps, or what's it called? Laps Down podcast. I get into 2 shows mixed up. I did listen to that and filled me in on everything. So I'm contributing.
Thanks for chipping in.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
You're doing your part. Yeah. So, but other than that, we're
going off of. Well, I was going to say, going off of what Andrea said too, I want to bring this up as well from an ESPN article. Unprecedented moment in the team's history, something like that. Basically, it's following the dismissal. Horner was said to have a contract that wasn't set to expire until 2030, but sources have confirmed to ESPN that this is Verstappen. Hold on, we'll keep Verstappen. Okay. Different thought process than what I was going off of, so apologies, but this follows the Verstappen comment. So sources have confirmed to ESPN that Verstappen has a clause in his contract that allows him to leave the team if he is lower than 3rd in the points. Is that what it is?
Yeah, which is.
Yeah.
So yeah, right there. So
sorry, something different. I didn't mean to catch something cooking there, and I burnt it. So sorry.
No, it's still cooking. It's marinating. I mean, the question is, I think he could fall further. Because I think the Ferraris are going to be better. And who knows what the heck Red Bull's going to look like with Horner gone now. I mean, they could turn into a dumpster fire. Like, who knows? So I think it's possibility, because with Lewis's performance in Silverstone and that car and them having a 3-week break now, and then Spa is going to be at the back end of the season. I mean, you could see Mercedes do really well at Spa. They did well last year. It's Lewis... Max, we could be seeing him somewhere else. But also, could he just say, you know what? I've won 4. See ya. I'm going to go run WEC. I'm going to go run all this other stuff that I want to go do.
He should come run NASCAR and get his tail waxed by Kyle Larson.
Oh, boy.
I mean.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
SVG versus Max Verstappen on the Chicago street course.
Just light that fire real quick.
Yeah. So, derailing us a little bit. Speaking of things that are just fire, right?
There we go.
So, John, you're a really big fan of trading cards, right? Like you love, and just trading cards are really, really cool. I know I sound sarcastic right now. I'm genuinely saying like trading cards are cool. I'm getting into.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. And I know some of you guys are trading card collectors in the comments too. And sorry. Not my best segue, not my best worst segue.
We gotta work on this.
We gotta work on these. But all that to say, in case you missed it, we have a new partner here at ATYL Media with Above the Yellow Line that I wanted to mention on here for a sec with the NASCAR.shop website. You can get all of your favorite trading cards here. If you use the promo code ATYL, you get 15% off your first purchase of a trading card. Dan over at NASCAR.shop is incredible. A big NASCAR fan. He actually sent some cards over my way that you can see in the Collector's Corner video that I did over on the ATYL Media channel right here where you're watching. But definitely look at the website, link in the description of this video. Look at what is there. You can also sell cards on there too. Like it's an all-encompassing website for all the NASCAR trading card collectors out there, motorsport trading card collectors out there. So make sure to check it out. But yeah, just wanted to mention that real quick because you guys mentioned fire, and I was like, things that are fire, trading cards. So
they are.
You got it. Yeah, no, they are. They're really cool. They're really cool.
Yeah.
So definitely check out that video, that Collector's Corner too. That
it was so fun. There was a lot of good stuff I've been like keeping under wraps for a bit. But no, the trading cards, I was able to show all my stuff from Racing Warehouse, the Brent Wentz, who we had on the show a month ago, I guess back in May, I should say. He sent a care package from his stuff, Days Gone By Vintage. So I had a lot of stuff to show in that. So definitely check out that video again on the ATYL Media channel where you guys are watching this video right now. So no big deal. The other thing too, speaking of things that are fire, Don, this is where you thought I was going. This is where you thought I was going here.
There it is.
There it is. Fenzik Designs. Yeah. We all love our diecast here. We were pointing out our beautiful diecast collection. John, here, I'll point out your diecast collection right here. Look at that. Beautiful,
It
incredible.
holds one of the best drivers on the grid. That's better than SVG at Buddy Pulling.
Oh, buddy.
Collectively.
He goes,
I mean, SVG's got 2 wins. The Byron's 1. Who's counting?
Well, at least he can finish, at least in the top 25 on ovals. So
SVG can do that. Well, Byron hadn't been able to do it. Anyway, Benzik Designs made that nice stand with some mid diecast sitting on it right now.
These are 2 championship cars.
Shut up, Dom.
And there's a third
Dom,
one.
get out of
Boo.
here. Get out of here. Boo. Thumbs
Claim
down in
the
the chat
system
for Dom.
3 times.
Thumbs down in the
I
chat
have
for Dom, but thumbs up in the chat for Benzik Designs.
thumbs up in
There
the
we
chat for Benzik
go.
Designs. So
And
unlike the
if
gentleman
you
on
have
the
a
screen here, I have
Benzik
to
Designs,
say-
drop a 22 in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Sure. Yeah. But all this to say, guys, you guys see the 4 tiered stands that I have here. All of them are Benzik Designs. And this is the best way to display your diecast hands down. I know I'm a little biased just because Matt is a really good friend of mine. But seriously, I've had 3D printed stands before that were just flimsy, not great. And like these have been literally a game changer for me. I'm running out of space, so I need more shelves, but I wouldn't have been able to display all these diecasts. I think I counted like 63 up here if it wasn't without the stands. So make sure to check those out again. Link in the description of this video to go find them. They're also on the website, our website at, not at Above the Line. My goodness, www.abovetheline.com. If you scroll to our partners page, you can find Benzik Designs. It's on Etsy as well. But if you use the promo code ATYL2025, you get 20% off your entire order. I've heard so many people that have gotten these stands and they're like, okay, I got 1. Now I have to get like 5 and they'll just come back and buy more, which is basically what I do as well. So again, thanks to Matt for his support. Appreciate NASCAR.shop for their support as well. But yeah, these are awesome. We love them. Anywho, back to the plot. John, sorry. You mentioned my brain went somewhere with the segue and it left the building. So apologies. But anything else Formula One related that we should
not
be
really
thinking about right now? No,
not really. I'm very curious. Today was huge, and I'm just curious to see where the season will go once we get to Spa. Is Mercedes going to perform well again? Is Red Bull going to implode? Is Ferrari going to have another bad strategy weekend? Who knows? Is McLaren just going to drive away into the sunset holding hands? Which I think is the most likely situation. But yeah, that's about it.
So also wanted to say shout out to AJ in the chat here, our
I
shepherd during the NHRA weekend.
We are. We absolutely are.
We really are. Oh, good to see you in the chat, AJ. Yeah, so I guess that's F1. Buddy, anything Cars Tour related? There's coming up.
All
There's a lot.
So yeah. Coming up this weekend, July 12th at Hickory Motor Speedway. This guy and the spawn of this guy are going head to head. Kevin and Keelan Harvick are running in their 3rd Harvick versus Harvick showdown. Harvick will be in the HendrickCars.com car, or Harvick will. This is difficult. Kevin Harvick will be in the HendrickCars.com number 29. It looks just like Kyle Larson's car. Clearly, he's going to win. Keelan Harvick will be, in his normal Hunt Brothers Pizza car. So look out for that, as well as everybody in the Pro Late Model Tour, which they have put on definitely some entertaining shows this year. So definitely tune in to Flow Racing for that. And then tune in to On Tour next week, and we will have the recap of all of that. And I will promise you I'll be completely unbiased in the whole video.
Always.
Yeah.
Always unbiased.
Always.
Yeah.
Always unbiased for Buddy.
That's right.
Does Happy have anything to say? Is just
Happy is he's very happy that Happy Harvick is going to be running a race car.
He's like, yes, I am.
He's very happy that
We got one.
he's very happy that his dad's holding him right now. Shout out to the cats in the chat. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Here you go.
That was awesome.
We have to clip that and put it everywhere. I'm crying. That was too good.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Oh,
my
boy.
That's right. Hey, look,
God.
born. Yeah, exactly.
We just need
Yeah.
the picture
Forced to be held, born to meow.
we just need a picture of Happy looking at you. Just get someone to look
So
at you the way
lovingly.
Happy looks at you.
Exactly. Yeah. No one looks at me the way that cat looks at me.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So
oh my goodness.
precious. Also, to kind of plug on tour yet again, had a fun time with the Caraway episode. It came out this past Saturday for my first Cars Tour event. So watch that. We had a lot of good insight,
Definitely.
a lot of good chats, a lot of good stories.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. It was fun. It was
Make me miss having a co-host.
Well, maybe I just have to go to more
One
Cars
day.
Touring.
That's exactly what will have to happen. Yeah.
Oh, Laurel! Shout out to Laurel.
100%. All day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Laurel.
Yeah. Okay. Now, because she's in the chat, I have to plug the rest of our team here because and I'm gonna embarrass her through the screen here. But ATYL Media, we have an incredible team of content creators. I'm gonna make this a short spiel and then we'll move on. But we've also had a summer internship program, and all of our interns have freaking crushed it. I almost swore because that's like how enthusiastic I am about our interns.
Yeah.
But they have crushed it since day one. Laurel has done such incredible work for us too. A lot of the awesome graphics you see on our page, Laurel did those. She makes great graphics and stuff like that. But they've all done so well. So shout out to our entire team. It's not just the people you see on camera. There's people behind the scenes too that do incredible work too. So just wanted to shout that out because
way better than
they're incredible. Yes. I will say yes.
They're the glue right now.
They're the glue. Quite honestly, they are the glue. They help with the promos and stuff like that. Like they're literally crushing it. Like 10 out of 10, home run, etc. But yeah, so that's Cars Tour. Let's move on to some NASCAR news and other topics that you guys put in the comments. This is an interesting comment from Matthew here. He said SiriusXM mentioned that having the idea of primetime midweek races for the future. So like back to COVID era, I guess. What are the thoughts and opinions on this? How are we feeling about a midweek primetime race? I've got thoughts about it. But I'm gonna hold.
All the boys are in the chat tonight too, by the way. Shout out to Matt for showing up. Thank you, man.
Heck yeah.
No midweek races.
Yeah, just from the position I'm in, like good luck selling tickets for that.
Yeah.
I want midweek races. Like COVID was awesome. And that's the only context in which you guys are gonna clip that and use this in. But it was awesome because there's like multiple races in a week, and that's cool. And like we had fun at Caraway on a Wednesday the other night, but ratings just don't. There's no proof of concept for it.
Right, and I think the biggest thing is with that is like like a Monday night race, you can't compete against Monday Night Football. If you get a Friday race, you can't compete against or Saturday. Let's say they move like races to Saturday, then you got college football, and even during the summer, I think it's just. The fans, like you're not going to get people out on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because I've even been to races where it's rained out on Sunday and I had to go to Monday. That attendance slashed.
This is
I'm just reading comments too. Like I'm seeing them.
Yeah.
It's my friend from Down Under that made a good point.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So I don't think about this. Feasible.
Well, it's not feasible. And then again, we bring up the logistical issues too. Like we're having so many issues just getting the haulers to the truck. I mean, I'm thinking about this specifically with the like Michigan to Mexico City. That's crazy. I think about that. I also think about how expensive it is to have these cars and run these cars. Football, you can get away with it because you just have like cleats, the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I watched the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that's really it. If you can't tell here, but like, there's not a whole lot of equipment you have to buy. For NASCAR, a little different, very different. And that takes a lot of money. And let's say we're racing at a super speedway in the middle of the week, because why not? Like, junk your equipment. How are you going to get something for like a Sunday or something like that? Or maybe it is just like a Wednesday and then you reconvene the next Sunday. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I will say I did really enjoy during COVID the midweek races, because I think there was a need for that for everybody, quite honestly. And NASCAR had to get caught up on their schedule. So it was there for its time, I guess.
One race that they pitched around, put in a midweek for that the fucking sentences. Anyway, one race that they suggested a while back for a midweek race was Richmond. And that's perfect because Richmond's right in the heart of Richmond. Okay, you're right there. We'll see if that works. But again, it's just ratings would be Yeah.
I mean,
it depends on what NASCAR's goals
Eldora
are.
was run on a Thursday?
What race?
Yeah,
Did
well,
they
Kentucky
run
Speedway,
Eldora?
we had.
When the trucks did Eldora.
Yeah,
Did they
Eldora.
run on a Thursday or a
That was
Wednesday?
Thursday.
That was
Mhm.
Wednesday
I
and
think that's
Thursday. I think they did
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was just fun. The
Yeah.
Eldora truck races. And that's where I can see it making sense, where it's it all comes down to the market.
Yeah.
Like
and
Rossford,
dirt fans are
Ohio.
used.
Oh yeah.
Dirt fans
got
are
nothing
used
do
to
on a
going.
Thursday.
Yeah. Dirt fans are used to going to races during the week too.
Exactly.
So you So
Yep.
make Richmond
I will
dirt. There we
say-
go.
Like, God, no. I mean, we could try whatever.
I'm not against it, honestly.
Bring back SRX, Thursday Night Thunder. I was just talking about how much I actually missed SRX literally yesterday because I was like, man, what an era that was, right?
It's been like,
I
12
that
minutes.
IROC was announced to come back, and it's just been crickets ever since that announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. But no, I just remember when I went to Kentucky Speedway, like the first few races I went to was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. It was always fun to go to a truck race on a Thursday night. Like I know it was always more fun that way. But I just, midweek cup races, I just don't know if that's feasible. Speaking of not feasible, charters. A pretty significant development in the 2311 Fort Motorsports lawsuit because they were denied their rehearing to maintain their charters during the duration of the lawsuit at a very high level. Don't really know next steps, what this looks like, but this basically means that they might be racing at Dover as open teams. So that has some implications, right? I mean,
there's a subplot to all this too. ATYL Media is buying 3 charters. So
let's do it.
Buddy, they
Let's do it.
Well, look, these people in the chat have waited long enough. No, I mean I mean, what did you expect? We've been hearing in a lot of these court hearings, it's Denny Hamlin wants to have his cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that NASCAR has been very stubborn this whole time, and nothing has made. It doesn't seem like any progress has gotten made. So I mean, it's just I hope 2311 was already prepared.
Yeah. No, and the thing here is you need to compete in every race to be playoff eligible. If you get into the playoffs, like that's what you have to do. The issue is neither. I could be wrong this year, and maybe I'm forgetting, but Tyler Reddick hasn't won a race, right? Like,
not yet.
That's kind of crazy to me at this point.
2311
Bubba Wallace has not won a race. Right. So, I mean, even then, still, you have to compete in every race. And let's say we have an event like the Chicago Street Course. Let's say they didn't have their charters for Chicago and we were knocking out cars. Like, let's say that maybe one of them had an issue in qualifying. Then shoot, like, you can't qualify. You're not in the race. You can't.
Your whole season's done. Your whole season's done.
I think I think it's just attempt. It's just you have to attempt every race. Like Daniel Suarez in 2020, he missed the 500, but he could have still made the playoffs if somehow he could have put that car on his back and Flintstone that thing to victory.
Yeah. So is it then truly like you have to at least just attempt?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I thought it was you have to qualify your way into the field and then attempt the race.
Yeah, I thought it was me too. I thought it was attempt the race, not qualify.
Yeah, not just qualify. Yeah. Like you have to qualify your way in.
Wait, hang on. I'm confused. Wait, huh? Wait.
John,
we got
while we fact check that.
Yeah, let's fact. Yeah.
John's going to fact check that. Let me read the comment from Jeffrey Kessler, the attorney for 2311 Racing for the race teams and Pro Motorsports. From this decision, he says, quote, "We are disappointed by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals decision to deny a request for a full rehearing. This decision has no bearing on the strength of our antitrust case." So basically, we've lost a battle, but we're still determined to win the war, essentially. Basically saying it doesn't have any bearing on the strength of our antitrust case, which we look forward to presenting at trial. We are committed to racing this season as we continue to fight for more competitive and fair terms for all teams to ensure the future of the sport and remain fully confident in our case. So that's the comment from their side of the aisle there. But yeah, I mean, major major loss here. I know John is checking in on those.
Yeah, so I'm trying to dig here a little bit. Have to
Just keep digging. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Movie.
Dory Finding Nemo.
Finding
Boom.
Nemo.
Easy.
Thank you. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Which,
ATYL Media becomes the next Hendrick Motorsports.
That's right. You're damn right.
Yes.
Yes.
We sold.
Yeah. NASCAR should make a statement regarding me confusing everyone on this live stream.
So
Nice.
this says
Nice. Heck
this
yeah.
means that they are to be eligible for playoff contention and potentially earn a championship. The driver needs to be a full-time competitor in the Cup Series. This means they are registered to compete for the championship and have attempted to qualify for all races unless they have been granted a waiver.
Give me that.
As long as they show up every week.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that. That's $10 from each of you.
So there you go.
Put that towards the charter. Put
There
it
you
towards
go.
the charter.
Yeah, you can put it back in the charter. It's fine. Yeah.
For our Hendrick Motorsports level
Yes.
team, with we're gonna have, I guess, 2 charters, maybe 3 charters. I don't know.
We're gonna run.
Yeah, the fact that we're remembering the numbers for the OG team, that's actually pretty cool. That's a good callback. All of our numbers for our point standings and stuff.
Do we really need
hard to
the
remember.
22? We don't need the
Well,
Penske can have it.
That makes sense.
Penske can have the 22. I don't.
Yeah, but it's
I don't-
fine.
I would if I had, if I had to, I'd probably do 97.
Wow. I want to be a try hard, I guess.
I'm just trying to make content. And Buddy's over here shooting me down every time I try to.
I don't know what my deal is tonight.
I thought you'd be happy. You mean SVG won? I guess.
No, that's happy.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Last topic we'll dive into, speaking of being happy, maybe we're not happy about this, but Clash returning to Bowman Gray in 2026 announced this morning. Obviously, Bowman Gray, the Madhouse, is a staple in the short track community, and it kind of has it's a breed of its own, really. The racing you see there and whatever craziness, whatever's in the water there, you're not going to see at other tracks. It is literally, some of the crap people see, crazy. But NASCAR's returning there. Personally, I think that's a good move. Starting the season off, in North Carolina. Now, do I wish it was in Daytona for the Clash still? Yes, I do. But we can't always have nice things. So I think this is a good compromise, at least. The crowd obviously shows up, shows out. I think it's a good move. All in favor say aye. Or nay?
I mean, but I think NASCAR truly is.
Oh, okay, good.
I think NASCAR is alienating their new fans by running these old racetracks. Honestly.
Well, and then here's the caveat to that: NASCAR's alienating their old fans by going to Chicago.
That was that. Yeah, that's why I said that. That's the argument they like to make. But
sarcasm. There we go. I got it. I got there. I was like, I'm so ready to one up Buddy. Then I'm like, Buddy said something sarcastic, and I'm like, reel it back in. Reel it back in. It's fine.
I think it's a good move. I think it sells the joint out. Why not? Everybody liked it. I thought
it'll be fun.
So.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. It's the only racing that we really see at Bowman Gray. So take that dig real quick.
Happy is like,
no lies
you
were
told me
told.
this would be done at 8.
Abby's like, what do you mean? I need treats or food. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you feed your cat.
Yeah. We love
do.
Happy.
Something.
Does Happy have anything to say before we close things out today? Maybe.
Okay. All right.
The love that cat has for you is beautiful, buddy.
That's
it's
my
beautiful.
I'm gonna get Mare on the stream one of these days.
Oh my gosh, please bring
Mare's
Mare
gotta
on the
come back.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love when we have our appearances of our pets on stream. They're always so fun. My goodness.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, shoot, it was a fun time hanging out with you all tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, we have so much content coming out on our platform literally every day at this point. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure to go to abovetheline.com as well to learn more about our team, what we're doing, etc. and just, of course, our partners. Want to thank Benzik Designs, Go Locker Racing, The Bright Mentality, On Brand, and then, of course, NASCAR.shop, which will be prominently featured on my show on Above the Line. But we'll plug them on the live stream every now and then. But, want to thank them so much for their support with us. But I'm sorry to the Spiders. We are out of time for this evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. For myself, Dom Joseph, Buddy Foley, and John DeRuteris. We will see you all next time. Thanks so much for joining us for our crazy episode of ATYL Live, and we will see you